power line to convey a certain brilliance, a telephone line to carry a voice, a metro line to bring us all downtown. Lines of connection, communication, not the borders of boundaries that slice and dice a nation. Divided by the chalk lines of disreputable history, past failures are laid out as we shrug with absent mystery. Those bodies left behind us while we amble on ahead, fearful of the wrong things from newspapers unread. Before I tell you what to do, or you try to tell me, let's all see what's been done and where we could have been. By knowing what's before us, the path might clear ahead and focus on new obstacles uncharted by the dead. A power line from a gurgling turbine, a telephone line from a quiet room, a metro line from across the city. Maybe we'll all raise our glasses soon. They say across the fence line the grass is always virtuous, but we're not corralling cattle, fearing rainbow father murders. When we look out past dividers, we're unsurprised to see more folks erecting fences, becoming detainees. Before I worry about you or you worry about me, let's all dwell on ourselves, we're the private enemy. Becoming who we're meant to, virtuous and creative, we won't dread the different, the strange or unrelated. A power line to convey certain brilliance, a telephone line to carry a voice, a metro line to bring us all, to bring us home.
I want a girl who will mine for her diamonds. I want a girl who can sort a chest. I want a girl with shears that cut and swords that burn through zombie flesh. I want a girl who knows world generation, who crafts furrows and times her attack. She's modding her community. She's flying through the air. She's smelting out impurities and feeding her cat. I want a girl with a lectern and a full cauldron. I want a girl who who logs in early. I want a girl who plays till late. I want a girl with unobstructed creativity who uses a tripwire to ruin your day. With shulker boxes organized and lustrous in a tone that will torch you like desert grass. Who crafts furrows and times her attack. She's smelting out impurities and feeding her cat. I want a girl with a lectern and a full cauldron. Whose shield is emblazoned. I want a girl with good enchantments. On some server we will meet incidentally. We'll start to talk as we shoot skeletons. She wants a spawn with biome convenience. She wants a spawn that's in good repair. She's changing her aim from wither to dragon. She's trading her archery for a trident that's self-repairing. I want a girl with a lectern and a full cauldron. The summer is past, but your days keep growing longer. There's no wind in your sails, but the storm's blowing stronger. Walking hard, standing tall, keeping your head up through it all. Fighting fires, spinning plates. Goodness, how'd it get so late? Lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and just let your mind flow downstream. Spread out in a moonbeam. Lay your head down and dream. Joe Hills is filmed before a live streaming audience.
That's us! Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee, and tonight, y'all are my live streaming audience. I hope you're ready to celebrate. I hope you're ready to benefit. I hope you're ready to build. And I hope you are ready to try. Maybe, you know what, down the line, you might even be ready to travel. /event. Well, you know what? Let's just say meet. Let's say meet. That sounds good. Celebrate, benefit, build, try, meet. These are the 5 things that I need to figure out how to do every month. Like which month? Well, what about June 2022, right? And then we can work backwards to May 2022, which doesn't have like a good place for a sign yet, but that would go back here. And then April. And then we might go around the corner here to March, even, if we wanted to put blocks in. But you know what? That's a lot for one person to do by themselves. I am but one singular frail creature. And that is why it is such a delight to be joined this evening by NJCoffeeJunkie, who I'm about to unmute. So NJ, if you already said hello, they haven't heard it yet. Say hello.
Hi everyone, NJ here, coming to you from the great state of New Jersey.
Welcome, NJ. NJ, for those of you who don't know, is my project manager who has been working for me since I went full-time on YouTube, helping me out. People are saying my face is on the shears. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Let's make that a little bit more. There we go. Now I'm getting your lichens. See? Yeah, there we go. So this stream is a little different. We are on the Hermitcraft server. This is a physical board. This is a planning board we are building in a space that will be available in the world download. Or if any of the other hermits decide they want to come spy on me and make plans, they actually can. But basically, I ask myself every month I need to plan for, what do we want to celebrate? Who do we want to benefit? What do we want to build? What do we want to try? And how can we meet people and get stuff out there in the world? Meeting up with people has been kind of put on hold a lot since the pandemic, but now that there's vaccines and boosters and masks and stuff, like, it's a little bit safer now than when I first really started thinking about this. Our first tip of the stream just rolled in from Gritmonger. Thank you, Gritmonger, for the 20. That is going to get us to our next face camera expansion, our first face camera expansion. So here we go. Howdy, y'all. Grow Hills here, expanding as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah, I know these streams, because they're kind of weird, are not always big tipping streams. I'm not going to be slamming that tip link, because in some ways this is kind of a behind-the-scenes glimpse into my process. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills. NJ is a paid professional, so if we could do better than break even on what I'm paying for her to be here, that would be fantastic. But honestly, I know that in the long term, I'll make that money back either way. Okay, first question just came in from Jazzy Wolf. Am I going to PAX East this year? Not this year, no. This year, that's not going to happen. Sorry. Okay, so one thing we normally do too is we normally start at the present and work our way forward. But I discussed this with NJ before the stream, and we decided this quarter to try planning from the furthest out backwards. So we'll do June, and then May, then April, and then if we have time, what's left of March. Because a lot of times it feels like I get really tired by the end of this, because we get bogged down in stuff coming up in the next 2 weeks in the first 20 minutes of the stream. And that's not as helpful. So, okay, here we go. NJ, let's talk about June. What do people celebrate in June that we might want to either recognize somehow or do a build around? You know, for December, it's really easy. We say, let's celebrate Christmas. Last year, we had a Hanukkah build. For October, oh, it's easy. We're going to do a Halloween thing. But let's talk about June. Okay, here we go. Pro Ace pointing out Father's Day. Okay. So the thing is, I feel like Father's Day is a great topic for a stream, or not a stream, an episode. I could talk about what it's like being a single father, give some reflections on that. That's cool. That has value. Graduations occur in June. Thank you, Yazi. Start of the summer. Okay. Let's see.
I'm writing that down.
June month.
Jotting that down.
Yeah, if I Google June month, it's like June monthly observations. We can pull up some websites here. Well, okay, it's Zoo and Aquarium month, DJ month, Give a Bunch of Balloons month, African American Music Appreciation month. Okay, that's an interesting one, because there is actually a new museum that opened up during the pandemic in Nashville about African American music. Okay, so let's throw Pride on here. So I think Pride is something that's really important for people to celebrate who are proud of themselves, and it's up to others to amplify that. So what I probably want to do for Pride is to find other people in our community who are doing stuff for Pride and then amplify that. So, like, for example, if Tommy Boy was doing something on stream, I need to make sure to schedule, hey, when Tommy Boy is doing a big Pride Month event, raid that stream, you know? Okay, Juneteenth.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Yeah,
Juneteenth, of course.
Juneteenth. Okay. See, this is why we're doing this. Like, let's see. But yeah, African American music. So, like, I'm already like, okay, well, I mean, we got to call up, and reach out to. Now, the thing is, though, about any sort of month like that, like with Black History
Yeah.
Month, that's a very hard month to hire people like Music Man and Manta DeRay because they're working a lot of gigs because they're high profile that month. So if I can book them early, that's going to be crucial for doing stuff like that. The Platinum Jubilee in the UK. Well, I'm not super. What's the opposite of Republican? A monarchist? I'm not a super monarchist, but that's interesting. Okay. So we have a few cool things going on in June that we can do, streams, episodes, things like that around. Okay. Scar
Not
logged
saying
in.
Scar logged in.
Oh. Howdy, Scar. Sorry, planning my
Hi, Scar.
at the moment. Would have
Feel free to
greeted.
tell him. Feel free to tell him I said hello, even though he doesn't really know me. It's
No,
fine.
I'm not gonna do that. He'll be stressed
It's
out.
fine.
He'll be like, wait, should I know that person?
Should I know the entire state of New Jersey?
The thing is, people log into the
Hi,
server
Rose.
all the time just to take a quick screenshot for their thumbnails. Okay, so
fine.
we have from a brainstorming standpoint some really good stuff here. So for Father's Day, I could maybe have some people on to talk about what being a father is like, or maybe that's a stream, maybe that's an episode, maybe talk with the hermit dads.
That would be a very interesting episode to do a conversational collaboration with hermit dads.
Yeah,
Impulse, Tango,
Doc.
Corrales, Doc.
Yeah, we could do a dad roundtable. So yeah, there's stuff we could do there. But yeah, welcome Elite Lep. Oh, is Jevin's streaming too. Cool. So benefit. So June is gonna be an awkward month for charity stuff because Draw for Charity is probably gonna be in July, and so I'm gonna be spending a lot of time in June. So I'm gonna write down plan July's Draw for thing. But I think what I also want to do is help where I can with Pride related fundraisers.
Also, thank you for reminding me I need to put the Draw For meeting on the calendar.
Oh, I talked to Pasta. I don't need to be at this meeting on Saturday, and I sent him a list of 4 events that I want to run for Draw For.
Yes,
I basically
and I was going to discuss them on your behalf.
Yeah, I basically said since we have like 5 board members, and it's like a roughly 50-hour event, I should have about 10 hours worth of material ready. Now, I'm happy to concede some of that time to other people because I don't need to do it. But I said I can do 2 hours of Mario Kart, 2 hours of pinball, I can do 2 hours of walkabout golf, and 2 hours of hermitcraft. And that's 8 hours. And any one of those events can be stretched an hour or 2 here or there to get the 10. I mean, technically, at 48 hours, we're not going to need me to do a full 10. But I felt like if I show up with less than 10, I don't look like I'm showing up, right? And then it's up to everyone else to just tell me how much they need,
Yeah, and this Saturday we're definitely going to solidify the date, and I have a feeling it's going to be in July. Although,
and it might get moved if it happens to be in June, I can still make it work. So I don't want to.
I can too.
Yeah, I don't want to plan to do too much charity stuff in June that I spearhead. I'm going to help where I can with other people's stuff so that I can make sure that July's Draw 4 thing goes well. Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's actually a very good call because the Draw 4 weekends, for those who don't know, we do a 48-hour event, and Joe and I have been part of Draw 4 pretty much since more or less the beginning. And we do 2 main fundraisers every year, and our big fundraiser is the one we're talking about, where we benefit Child's Play by doing a 48-hour stream. Between the 6 of us and people we bring in as guests. Like Rex is in chat, and Rex is part of the Draw 4 team as one of the moderators and people who plays games with us. So
Yeah.
it's a very, very big to do with a lot of moving pieces.
Yeah, welcome, Rex. And so one of the things, so we're gonna leave the charity. I think we got charity covered. We're gonna fill. We're gonna even if I'm not spearheading something myself in June, I'm gonna be putting in the hours. I'm not gonna feel bad. In terms of building things, I don't have a good timeline yet of when to break ground on my mega base. But like this, I really feel like June might be mega base groundbreaking.
Okay, I'm gonna put that
and I'm
under build.
Yeah, because I really want to spend the next few months kind of doing stuff around the starter village, and then also like even once I claim the land that my base is going to be at, I want to work on the garden and stuff surrounding the base so that when we actually start building the base, there's cool stuff in the background from every angle. So we'll figure out what we're going to build exactly there. Okay, so in terms of trying things in June, this is like I like to dedicate some of my month to experimenting with things. And that is going to be when we launch the that's going to be probably when we launch our vanillish Patreon server.
And this is the one that is vanilla but has slight tweaks.
It would have mod packs and prox chat and things like that.
Okay, yeah, because I can't keep the server straight sometimes.
Yeah. No, because the problem is that trying to launch a server that has things like prox chat at the same time that I'm launching a new Hermitcraft season is too much for me, but things will have wound down. So this is technically a late May, early June, but probably early June.
Okay.
So, yeah. And then in terms of meetups in June, I know I'm going to have a lot of stuff going on in July, but I don't have any events on my calendar for June. There is whoa, we just got a tip rolling in from Andrew. Thank you very much, Andrew, for that. That is a full 100. Boom.
Ooh,
so
nice.
Here we go. That's 5 face camera expansions. We're going to start with number 1. I hope you're ready for some face expansions. Do. Alrighty. Then numero dos. Here's a larger Joe. Do. Number 3. I don't know why there was an umlaut on the U. There's no reason. I don't know. D. Okay, so the 4th expansion. At that point, I think we're getting into the Jost. So now you've seen that money go straight to my head, but like Jacob Marley, these face camera expansions. Wait. No. Like Jacob Marley, these chains are about to begin pulling me down to the deep below. Enter the Jost. Bum, 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 ba-dun, da-dun, da-dun. Alrighty, so that's going to lower the Joe opacity now to 90%. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Go. It's time to expand. Jost. Do. Lowering the Joe opacity now to 80%. Okay, I will say, I had a few things I had to do to prepare for this stream today. And some of them kind of drained my brain a little bit. One of them was I needed to finalize all my taxes so I could figure out what I could afford to do in the next 3 months. So my taxes are finalized, but that also means I'm very overextended a little bit. Like I am in brain exhaustion territory now, but that's part of what NJ is here to help me with, is to cover those gaps. Okay, so let's see what is up next. Okay, so NJ, can you think of any events that were coming up in June? Because Tennessee Game Days is spring and fall. Play on Cons in July. June is usually pretty light for me. The only things, there used to be a few June events around Nashville, but like a lot of them kind of were, A lot of them actually died like 2 years before the pandemic, and people were like, maybe we'll bring them back, and then they didn't. So I think June might just be kind of free.
Well,
Is there anything that
I
you can
don't-
think of in June?
I can suggest something,
Mhm.
but
No, go for it.
Origins Game Fair
Okay.
is June 8th through the 12th in Columbus.
Okay.
I'm not sure if we are gonna go. We normally do, but as some people might know, I started a new job this week, and I don't know if I'll have the time off.
Okay.
But I'm gonna put it on the calendar anyway.
June conventions. Also,
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of.
Wait. Cool. Wait, are you deleting the last year's June entry?
No, last year's June entry is still in the updated.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is the 2022 doc. Okay, sorry.
Yes, it is.
I just
No,
looked
no,
over
you're
at the
fine.
Google Docs window and was like, "Wait, you're deleting things. What?" Okay.
I'm deleting anything that isn't relevant
Yeah.
from 2 years ago.
Yeah, so I just pulled up like I mean there's plenty of conventions and stuff in June, but they're just not things that
Yeah.
overlap my geography or interests for the most part.
Yeah,
So like
is
technically
Minecraft live usually in June?
Oh, that's a great question.
Perhaps maybe pencil it in even though we don't know.
Well,
You never know.
I was gonna say I might know. I just might not have. I'm in like 100 Discords. Okay, let me go find that Discord. Oh my gosh, I am actually in too many Discords.
That's a mood.
Wow. Okay, so there's like a Minecraft creators Discord.
Aviva's saying it's in September.
Okay, I believe you, Aviva.
Thank you, Aviva. I'll write it in there. Just
Okay.
and
So,
Mahi says that
Yeah, Jevin would live near there, so that could be good.
yeah, that's what Mahi said.
Yeah, so
And you're
we could try and do a Jevin meetup. But yeah, I'm looking at like a general list of stuff going on in June. I think June is going to be kind of a chill work ahead month because I'm going to have between Draw for Charity, Play on Con, 4th of July stuff. I'm going to have a lot of stuff I'm either doing with family, friends, or at conventions in July. So I think in June, for the most part, we're going to be doing stuff. Okay.
Yep.
So let's work backwards. So
yes. Anything else about June you want to talk about?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Are there any blatant gaps that you're thinking or seeing? You're thinking of or seeing?
I know that I saw Mahi's mention Juneteenth and maybe.
We wrote down Juneteenth actually.
Well, I have it written here, and he's mentioned helping promote Black Minecraft, maybe.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think that makes sense. And also, I think because it's also National African American Music Month, that there'd be a tie in there too. So, yeah. I don't think
that would be good.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking necessarily doing a physical meetup for that. Like the meet
not a
category is
physical
more
meetup.
for like going places and doing things.
Oh no, I meant in general because you had asked me if there was anything about June I could think of, and that was I wanted to make sure that was mentioned.
Makes sense. Yeah.
But in terms of meet or anything like that, I can't think of anything. So, because the only thing I know that goes on is Origins, and like I said, I don't know if we're gonna go or not. I might not be able to, but we'll see.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Celebrate, benefit, build, try, meet.
So to review, we have a bunch of different celebrate things. We have Pride Month, maybe by rating different streamers, Father's Day, graduation, start of summer, African American music rather, and Juneteenth. Having an episode maybe about what it's like to be a dad. Megabase ground building, launching the vanilla-ish Patreon server, and possibly Origins, but if there's other things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've got for it's really weird working backwards like we're doing today, but I'm loving this because I feel like we powered through June and we have good momentum rather than getting bogged down in what do I have to do this week.
Mm-hmm.
This is feeling good.
Yeah, sometimes you need to and should mix up short-term planning and goal setting with long-term goal setting because it makes everything easier. It actually streamlines you in ways you don't expect. Are you wearing the wig?
Yeah, I am because the camera's so big. But I was gonna say part of what we'll do later though is we'll take what we're sorting out here, like and say like, okay, we need to follow up in May about you know, hey, who's doing charity stuff for Pride, or we need to follow up in April about scheduling a music event with special guests who are African American to celebrate African American Music Month, that sort of thing. So like we'll create action items from these things as we approach them. And that's why we get bogged down, I think, when we start with this month or the next month, because this June stuff we know we can come back to and we don't get caught up in it.
Well, during one of our weekly meetings, we should like about maybe 2 weeks before the beginning of the month, kind of iron out and make sure that you're all set for it, so that you're not scrambling at the last minute.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not saying you do, but just like
no, I mean I'm frequently scrambling at the last minute, and like okay, well, hey, can we digress? You're on the clock, so I mean, of course we can because you're getting paid either way. But like I will say, so
let's go.
So you know, in terms of like trying to burn through my backlog of just things hanging over my head. So I got the 2022 taxes done today. One thing I got done yesterday, though, was I finally went to the Army Navy surplus store and bought a proper memorial box flag case for my grandfather's memorial flag because he was a veteran, and there's a tradition where when you die and they have the funeral, service members come out and they fold up a flag from your casket and give it to a family member. And that was presented to me. Basically, the last time I left Tennessee before the pandemic was to go to his funeral. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go get this flag box, this special box that you put these things in so they don't get dusty or ruined or whatever. And when the pandemic hit, it just kind of kept getting pushed back. And so I went out this week and I got that done. And I mean, I also got a lot of other stuff done this week. I went to the hardware store and bought a bunch of things I needed from the hardware store. But like, in terms of like working through my backlog, I'm starting to hit items on the list that were there before the pandemic. And that feels kind of nice. That
is nice. That's a big win.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm like, you know, I'm feeling really energized in a lot of ways this week. And yeah, on the whole, like, I feel like I'm making a lot of progress and getting a lot of stuff done. And so yeah, I'm very excited.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
That warms my heart to hear that.
People are asking if I have a Bedrock server. I do not. It's Java only. I'm not necessarily ruling that out in the future, but I'm not selling that now. Okay, so May 2022. What do people usually celebrate in May?
Well, taking the list from last time, by the way, I think I'm hearing an echo.
You are?
A little bit.
Okay, I can turn you down in my headphones. 1 second. Maybe you're hearing that my headphones in the mic.
Possibly. Okay, so we have Mental Health Awareness Month and Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. That's what was on the list before.
I don't think we did anything meaningful with either of those.
No. I know that usually the Casa Nirvana usually does something in May or June. Thunderkraut says May the 4th, but that's not
That's
really.
yeah, that's a Disney holiday, which is somehow worse than a Hallmark holiday.
Um,
I don't have any pets. I would feel disingenuous celebrating National Pet Week.
Aviva is asking about the SMP singing contest
Okay.
for May and Eurovision.
We don't have any updates on that we can share publicly at this time.
Okay.
That's one of those things that there's a lot of moving parts there, and it might be. Honestly, it's a great idea, but we might have came up with it too late to launch this year.
Excuse me.
Everybody I'm talking to about it really likes it, but it's a quick turnaround to write and perform a song. So
Might have to get pushed back.
yeah, I mean, we'll see. Eid is in May.
I'm gonna put that on the list.
Yeah.
I'll put that in here.
Mayday. Quiet Devious's birthday.
Mine.
Is Eid really as early as May? Wow. I remember a few years back it was in August. I guess the lunar calendar is always shifting.
As it does.
Yeah. Oh boy. May 2022. It's National Bike Month. I don't really bike because I'm terrified of breaking my hands. Lyme Disease Month, Lupus Awareness Month. A lot of those aren't stuff that's easy to latch on to, in terms of making things. Okay. So, in terms of charity stuff in May, NJ, do you have any charity events that you need me to glomp onto?
Well, you know that I always try to stream on my birthday for
That's what I was
American Cancer
thinking.
Society. I have to put the request in to take the day off, but I'm planning to. So I would love to do something with you.
Okay, and what day is that hopefully going to be?
Friday? I think it's a Friday this year.
Friday? No, I mean, like, what is the date? It's
Cinco
the
de
5th of May,
Mayo.
right?
It's Cinco de Mayo.
Okay, Friday, 5th of May. Cool.
Yes.
So, NJ Charity Stream, Friday, 5th of May.
Yes.
Gloria Sanchez says, Mother's Day? I don't know if you celebrate it. I mean, I celebrate my mother by, like, buying her presents and visiting her, but that's not, like, a good stream.
Thursday.
That's not a good, like, YouTube episode the way Father's Day Roundtable is a YouTube episode. You know what I mean?
Oh, Joe, it's a Thursday, not a Friday.
I don't think
That's
there's
right.
any... I was
Cinco
gonna
de
say,
Mayo's a Thursday,
since
'cause we
Aurelian
canceled that.
left, I don't think there's any moms on Hermitcraft anymore.
Stress?
Oh, yeah, Stress is a mom. Okay. Dang it. You're right. Oh, boy. I'm really tired. I spent 4 hours doing my taxes today. Okay? I got so much stuff done today.
You are 100% valid. You're fine.
Archery Day is May 14th. That's interesting. We could do a mini game with that or something, maybe. So you know what? Maybe, Redstone Archery minigame would be a good May build then. Okay. Because yeah, I want to do some mini games, and I want to maybe start working on my electronic parts garden. Now and again. Okay. It's Celiac Awareness Month. I know some people who are celiac. Awareness Month. Could probably do something with that.
Oh, easily, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Okay. So in terms of exactly what I'm going to build, or things I need to prepare to build, like the mega base, just having that written down, mega base, like I can work backwards from there. I need to be doing some preliminary groundwork on what it's going to look like, how it's going to be designed, etc. So the electronic parts garden, that's going to require placement around where the mega base is going to be. So that means we need to have the land claimed. Probably sometime in April. So we'll work backwards. Experimental things to try in May. I think we had talked about... so let's see. We're going to have some... Vanillish server pre-launch tests in May. If we're gonna launch at the end of May or the beginning of June, I'm gonna have to do some stuff to make sure that all the mods that we have chosen or whatever work. So I think that's gonna be my big experimental focus in May. Can you?
Okay.
You know, I kind of. So it's one of those things where I'm kind of in this weird place with a lot of stuff like merch and things like that because I just really want to focus on starting the season strong, right? And focus on just making the good episodes and doing good streams and stuff. And so the thing is though, sales tax is such a huge hassle to deal with that like it doesn't make sense to hire an accountant in October to sell some merch right before Christmas. Like, I really need to hire an accountant early in the year and have the storefront go live early enough that all the stuff I do is up for more than 3 months. So I'm in a weird place with that where maybe I'm going to say preliminary accountant research. I mean, it might be the sort of thing that I do in August to actually set that up, but I need to look at that at least. Hey, Secret Sydney. Yeah, this is arguably playing Minecraft. We are underneath the Hermitcraft server. Oh my gosh, everybody logged off but me. It's just me underneath the Hermitcraft server working on my quarterly planning wall. We got May 2022, June 2022. So the other big thing about late May and early June is I don't have a lot of time with my daughter when she's not in school because she goes to her mom's house for most holidays and stuff like that. So I've got a little bit of time with her between when school ends and when she leaves to go to her mom's. So I really don't want to overload May in terms of experimental stuff. I just want to focus on family time there.
I would concur with that assessment. I definitely want you to do that.
Yeah. So in terms of meetups and things like that, I don't really want to schedule too much in May. I can't think of any conventions or anything that really happen that time of year anyway. Because there's usually, for me, there was always kind of a lull between PAX East in like March or so. And then,
yeah, I think PAX East is in April.
Yeah, it's in April this year, but I'm not gonna go this year. It's just gonna be too much to get over there.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna be able to go either, so right there with you.
Yeah. So I mean, are there any big? Let's see, May 2022 pinball event.
Ah, that was going to be my next question.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's pull up the Pinside Pinball event calendar here. Okay, so there's stuff in March, stuff... Okay, Allentown is May 6th through 7th. Ann Arbor, Michigan, South Roxton, Illinois. I mean, honestly, most of these pinball events coming up are very small local stuff. Like TPF, the Texas Pinball Festival at the end of March, which unfortunately I can't afford to go to this year. In Frisco. I really wanted to go. That was one of those things like I had planned to go and then Hermitcraft didn't launch and then I was like, well, I can't afford it now. But yeah, so there's no way to get to TPF at this point. March 25th through 27th. But yeah, between TPF and the October event that I just got my room for. Oh, November 11th through 13th is the Houston Arcade and Pinball Expo. That one's a big one. So yeah, there's not a lot of pinball stuff just in the spring and summer. So yeah, I'm not gonna stress out about that. Could I have pinball with friends in May? Well, the thing is, I'm already reaching out to people about pin. So I'm hoping to have some guests we've had before in the studio. I've got invites out to a few people about pinball streams in studio and hangouts, but because I'm waiting on them to get back to me, that's not really something I need to put on the wall. It's something that's already in motion. This is kind of figuring out stuff that I haven't started on yet, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Homezone says, are you going to write family focus into the plan or just leave it as an unwritten goal? Leave it as an unwritten goal, because that's kind of the default if I don't overplan everything else.
Well, yeah, it's always one of your goals. On the other doc, you have making the most and creating opportunities for others and staying sane and but it's weaved within of being there for family and stuff. So
yeah,
it's all weaved within.
So let's see, upcoming sci-fi conventions.
Oh, that's right.
So let's see, in May, Denver, Minneapolis, Des Moines, Virginia Beach. None of these are close enough to me to, or, yeah. I mean, so yeah, it's just a lot of the events I go to just aren't this time of year. And that's fine. Okay. So we're gonna leave. I think we're done with May, kind of. For all intents and purposes, we sorted out what we need to sort out about May. Do you disagree, or how do you feel about it?
I think for what is here, especially with June being so meaty, if you will.
Yeah, because that's the thing, is like a lot of May might end up being me calling people to get stuff done for June.
Yeah, and I think you're gonna need that buffer, that buffer space.
Yeah.
In a manner of speaking, so having May be lightweight is not a bad thing. Yes. Honestly.
So let's get down here to April 2022. I gotta say, working backwards, this is the way to do it. We are an hour in, and instead of being like, oh, I feel like we haven't even finished this month, we've already finished 2 other months. And like,
yeah, we're rolling.
And in fairness, we always finish the last 2 months way faster. But I always worry, oh, we just finished those fast because we're tired, not because, nope, that was all there is. Whereas, like, I've got energy now, and I'm just like, no, that's all there is. Celebrate, benefit, build, try, meet. Oh no, I'm out of signs. Luckily, I have a whole bunch of things to make signs with. Like logs and sticks and stuff. Okay. Cool. So let's go ahead and make some more sticks as well. Centauratron's birthday is in April. Happy birthday soon, Centauratron. Yeah, in terms of upcoming releases, when we get to like fall, like November, obviously we're not there yet. But when we get to like November, I do want to do more Pokemon stuff. And I think what I'm going to try and do is, if I'm on the road for a while, is now that I've got the new capture set up for the laptop with the Switch, I tested it on a pinball stream the other day, but I actually bought it really for the Switch. We should be able to do the pinball streams. Basically, like a lot of times when we go on vacation, my daughter goes to bed, and then I have nothing to do, and I'm sitting alone in the hotel room when she's asleep anyway. And so it's like, if I just wait until after she falls asleep, she's like out. I could stream Pokemon or something like that from the hotel room.
That's an idea.
So We'll be doing some Pokemon streams as I start traveling more again. We might not have the Plinko board. I mean, I guess I could bring the Plinko board to a hotel, but that seems like a little extra, even for me.
I was about to say, this is you we're talking about. It's not outside of the scope of who you are to have a prop with you.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm saying
If need be.
but then I also need a camera and a tripod and a thing to lean it on and proper lighting for. Like, the Plinko board is actually like a whole thing to set up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if the goal is to have a lightweight, portable hotel streaming setup where it's just my laptop and the Nintendo, and I use the laptop webcam and I go, right? You know, I've got the capture thing with the USB 3.
Yeah, that's a whole other ball of wax.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I want to do that. Triforce says, aren't there digital Plinko boards? I mean, probably, but... Hey, welcome, Sammy. We are...
Hi, Sammy.
Working back in time. La, da, 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 da. Man, I'm realizing that April is just... This whole quarter 2 is just always a dead month for conventions for me. Because it's not like I'm like sitting here going, oh, well, since the pandemic hit, there's nothing in April. But like, it's funny because there's a ton of stuff in October, November, December, January, February, and then a bunch of stuff in July. But there's just a bunch of... I think part of it is that Dragon Con and PAX West are kind of in early September, and they suck a lot of air out of the room.
Yeah.
And so then people don't really compete a lot. April is Hermitcraft's 10th birthday. What do you know?
I'm going to put that in the celebrate category.
Yep. Hermitcraft's 10th birthday. I suggested we could have a barge parade down the Hermitsippi River, and everybody was kind of like, I don't think they understood the concept. So,
well, Ren, if I remember his last episode correctly, Ren built a steamboat.
Yeah, he did. But he's also on vacation now, so
yes,
he's not gonna.
He's visiting his family. Yeah.
Earth Day. We've got our, what do you call it? Earth Day event. Already scheduled for April 9th before that charity event. So the big charity event we have is Mercy Road, April 9th. 3 p.m. ET, 2 p.m. CT. I'm looking forward to seeing that when the birthday arrives, Aviva, or the anniversary. What's the word for... Is it a deciversary? Desquicentennial? No, decicentennial?
Might be decatennial.
Decatennial?
Hold on, I'm going to look it up.
Yeah. The Saskatchewan tennial.
Decennial. It's decennial.
Yeah. Okay, so Secret Fools, I mean, realistically, Secret Fools is going to be more on the back end of March to have it ready. So, yeah. Let's roll back in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. March 2022. Bum, 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 bum.
Hey, Blaze. Okay, so March is going to be Secret Fools and planning your character?
Yeah, well... I'm just adding March here so that when we're looking at April, if people keep pointing out stuff that's technically March, we can just go slap it up there real quick.
Very smart.
Bogged down.
Good thinking.
Also, I'm realizing, like, that up there is not lit.
Nope.
I mean, I know this new update means that's more okay, but, like, I mean, it's not okay either.
Yeah, it's less it's more okay, but like you said, not fully okay. It's
Yeah, like
darkness is less okay.
Yeah, there's potentially some issues here.
Well, all I keep thinking of is creepers up in the sky falling upon my eyes.
Yeah, I could see
Take a look
why.
as they go boom. Falling creepers. I've
Um,
had a couple fall on me. Do not recommend.
no, I'm certain not. Okay.
But very good eye.
Cool. So this is looking better.
Less creeper friendly.
Creeper Sutherland. Okay, that's pretty good.
That was good. I like that.
Yeah. Okay, so for build, this is, I think, when we need to have first shop on the server. If I don't think I'm going to have a shop by the end of March, but I need to have a shop in May. I think we need to start building the HHH supply depot.
Okay, so April is...
We're going to be doing work on, we need to scout base area. And we need to help Tango with Nether.
Very good.
Hey, welcome
that's
to
right. He's taking on the Nether Hub this season, correct?
Yeah, he's taking point on it. He's responsible for getting it envisioned and planned and coordinating people, but it's up to the rest of us to, do the work to help. The work that he coordinates needs to be done by somebody, and that's us. Okay. So the big thing I want to try in April is I think we want to try the newsletter.
The newsletter suggestion that was running around today.
Website. Yeah, because the joehills.net website, I fixed the SSL certificate because a lot of people asked about it, and there's a lot of room for opportunity there. Other things that we can try and get done in April. I want to experiment with 4K streaming capture. Because I think my laptop can run Minecraft in 4K. But it can't record at the same time. And I've got a 4K monitor here, and I've got a 4K capture card.
Yeah.
So I want to experiment with running, and the problem is, though, that right now, so my desktop definitely cannot run Minecraft in 4K. And I'm not even sure if it can encode or stream at 4K. But there's something to be tried there. Now that we have a 4K capture card, we have a lot of the pieces together. I want to mess with it, and I want to figure out where the gaps are. I feel like 4K streaming and recording is something that nobody needs today, but I want to figure out when people will be looking for it a year from now. I need to already have kind of budgeted for what I'm still going to need, right? I want to start kind of figuring out where the gaps are and things. Because, like, now that almost all phones and tablets are 4K screens, it would be really cool if people had the option of watching the stuff at high resolution. Because right now, one of the other problems is my Minecraft currently is only, it's not encoding very well. Because running the game and encoding on the same computer is taxing my current desktop. So I'm going to make some changes to that. But I think splitting between the two things, we might be able to do something interesting with it. I don't know. I'm curious to try it, and it'll probably not work, but I'll at least have a list of things that I need to budget for in the future if we do an experiment like that. So that's something worth doing. And even if 4K doesn't work, I do want to try 1440 or other things, because I
I feel like 1060p is pushing the limits of what I can do with the way I have things set up right now. But if I really spent a lot of time messing with stuff, I could maybe get more out of it. Okay. So, meetups and stuff in April. April still feels kind of soon to do meetups. I can't think of any major events going on.
The only one I can think of is the convention down by you that my brother is.
Oh, what is that called? ICC? See?
ICCC.
Yeah, let's put
It's
that on.
It's April 29th to May 1st.
Okay.
That I definitely can't make.
Okay, you definitely can't make it. But it'd be interesting to go check it out. Where is it actually at?
It is.
It's at.
Hold on. I have the page. I'm gonna DM it to you.
No, I've got the page up. Hey, Anthony Daniels is gonna be there. He played C-3PO.
Yes.
Sheraton Music City. Is actually in downtown Nashville. This doesn't look like it's in downtown Nashville. It's in McGavick Pike. They're liars. Don't lie to me about where McGavick Pike is.
That's what my brother said 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He warned me because I told him about Nashville. He's like, "Yeah, we're not exactly in Nashville."
No, they say we're in downtown Nashville. No, you're out by the airport. The airport is not in downtown. That's a maybe. I'm kind of curious to check it out, but like I don't know if I would do a formal meetup.
Timothy's always gonna be there.
Oh, well, I've met Timothy's on. He's really great. He
So
came
have
to
I.
ChatCon. Yeah.
He's been to Origins. He's wonderful.
So, April 29th. I'm going to put that down as like maybe I'm going to go scout it out this year, and then if it makes sense to do an event there next year, we could do it, but
yeah.
I'm not going to commit to that right now. Okay, so another thing that we're going to try in April is we're going to add more mods to experimental server. The experimental Patreon server. And it sounds like prox chat is something people are really interested in doing. And then setting that up is not trivial, but it's doable.
It is. I have prox chat. It is an absolute pain in the butt.
Wait, are you running it on a server?
No,
I'm saying setting it up on a server is a real hassle. Yeah, setting it up on a local machine is hard, but no, like setting it up on a server is a whole thing.
No, I think I don't know. I don't remember who's running Mind Boggled. I think it was Bearded Teacher or Borgo.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones that set it up.
Are you running it on Shamblecraft or?
No, this was on Mind Boggled. I had to step away from their first season because I didn't have enough time to play. But they all wanted prox chat. And it actually, once you get it working, it's great. But
yeah, it's a whole thing.
One of the biggest, half an hour to get.
Yeah, one of the biggest reasons that I didn't want to have it as on the flagship server. Well, in addition to the flagship server being pure vanilla, or one of the reasons to keep the flagship server pure vanilla is that nobody has to worry about trying to get a mod configured. Because it can be a real hassle to set up. And like the Hermits, we do a lot of stuff with Minecraft mods and stuff all the time. Oh, I forgot to greet Scar. Howdy, Scar. But like, every season, it's like, oh, hey, is your prox chat working? No, mine's not working. Okay, well, let's try it. Okay, well, the test server is set up differently than the way the live server is going to be set up. And it's like, we're professionals. So I think the big experiment about prox chat when we put it on the experimental server won't be, am I capable of setting it up? Because I know that I can set it up. It'll be, do people find it worth the hassle? Or is it worse? And then, if that works, we can add it to the vanillish server later. But I don't want to launch vanillish with anything that we haven't tested somewhere else first. So we need to schedule, or did we already schedule those? I don't think we scheduled the vanillish and the whatever.
No, we didn't.
So
we need to put those on the calendar.
I was gonna say, before we get into actually putting things on the calendar, I want to just
Yes.
finish the month overviews,
Yes,
and
let's
then we'll
do
get
that.
into the hard calendar stuff. Sound good?
Yeah, let's do
Okay,
it.
because we're 1 hour in, and this is the fastest we've ever done this. And I think part of the reason is that the putting things on the calendar, figuring out what days to do things, is where we get bogged down. And so by saving that for last, we had all the creative energy for the brainstorming stuff now, and then we can drag ourselves across the finish line with the calendar stuff. Okay. And that's part of the reason that we do this too, is we make sure that we have all the upcoming events that I might want to attend and stuff on here. So like, I don't want to schedule something the same weekend as of Origins until I'm sure I'm not going to Origins.
Yeah,
Because then I can't go to Origins. Yeah. So, okay. And one thing I did want to say with the newsletter is I think that the newsletter is something that I could definitely delegate and offload in the long term. And I like that about it. I like that it's a project that can be delegated, but I also like that it's a creatively interesting challenge for me right now. I don't like to pay people to do things that I haven't spent a few months doing myself, because I want to be able to manage them properly. And I feel like that helps me be a more informed leader and employer. And so ultimately, you know, if somebody from the moderation staff, for example, wanted to take on the newsletter, that would be something that would be worth offloading. But I really want to try doing it myself for a while first and kind of get a feel for what it should be, what the pitfalls are, that sort of thing. Slurpy YT says, is this Hermitcraft? It sure is. That's why there's torch spam everywhere. And also good times with Scar. Yay! But, like, this is also a quarterly planning meeting where I am talking to my project manager on the phone, and we are figuring out, like, what charity events to do in June, or what events to attend to meet up with my audience and stuff like that. So, yeah. It's a weird one. We do this about 4 times a year. We have a big brainstorming, overarching planning meeting with my project manager on the phone. And since we're about an hour into the stream, it's a good time for me to re-explain this. Turbo Putt says, how often do you do charity events? I try to be involved with organizing 2 or 3 a year, and I try to help other people with theirs on average once a month. Some months I end up doing 2, some months I end up doing none. But what it comes out to is I'm directly involved with organizing and planning 2 or 3, and I end up helping out with about 9. And I feel like that's a good mix, because the events that I actually really do get involved with planning, I spend months on calls and stuff leading up to them. So I couldn't do stuff on my own. Oh no, Lizzie, I'm sorry that you're not feeling well. That sucks. Yeah, I had COVID myself back in November, and it was terrible. So hope your symptoms are light, and I hope that you have the opportunity to get a lot of rest, and you have folks around you who will help you out, because, like, yeah, it was really helpful to me when my brother and friends would bring me food and stuff, because I couldn't leave the house. It was not good. But yeah, so get well soon, Lizzie. Okay. Unhandy Ship says, that's the best attitude to employing someone. I wish my boss would step in my shoes, then ask me why things take as long as they do. Yeah, exactly. Because I really need to figure out... It's also easier to... If I do something for 3 months, like run a newsletter on my website, and then I say to one of my moderators, hey, I'd like you to take over this newsletter. You know, you can write with your own voice. You're not pretending to be me. You're not ghostwriting it as Joe Hills. But you have a good sense of, like, the tone and, like, how playful it should be, what sorts of information should be in there, because you can refer back to those the 3 months of newsletters I've already done, you know? And if I get 2 months into it and I'm like, this is taking too much of my time, but I've already got 2 solid months somebody could refer to, I could write the manual with guidelines. I could write a list of, hey, ask me a question if you run into one of these situations. Here are ambiguous situations that you should escalate to me. having that list of when to bring things to me and when to solve things yourself is really helpful for somebody, But yeah, whereas if I just said, hey, write a newsletter on my website, here's the login. That's a harder job, right? And it's not me setting them up for success. Speaking of harder jobs, shout out to Yergi. I had spent a lot of time this week thinking about server stuff and trying to figure out how to design the perfect kind of like Minecraft Patreon server operator training program, and like what the handbook should be and all these different things. And it ended up being one of those things where I was just like, I'm getting really bogged down in this stuff, and people really want me to hire an operator or have, well, people just want more operator time than I could do. So then the options are either I cancel the other things I have to do, which are my taxes, take care of my kid, and make Minecraft episodes. It's like, I can't cancel anything on my plate right now. I'm a little bit busy. Or hire somebody else to do it. And so I was just like, Yergi, come in and we're going to do a pilot until Saturday, and we'll just see how it goes. And, so I ended up offering Yergi more than I would have necessarily offered somebody to do this if I was able to hand them a real handbook and a defined role and all of these things, because I'm not asking someone to just do a job. I'm asking someone to create a job, to pioneer a job, right? And so, yeah, Yergi, you know how it is trying to work something out from scratch. Luckily, Yergi has a lot of experience designing mini games and fun experiences in Minecraft and has been a moderator in my community for a long time. So it's like, okay, it's somebody I trust on both a talent level and a technical level, and also somebody I trust with the community. So yeah, Yergi, I really appreciate you helping me out with that. With this newsletter thing though, that's something where, because that's not as urgent to get started with, I feel like that's something I could start pioneering that in a few weeks myself. And honestly, it encapsulates a lot of things that were kind of in my backlog of like, oh, I want to start writing down like what books and movies I'm reading or watching. And I want to start writing down what happened in each stream, and like, or so that I can refer back to it later if I need to find a VOD for something. And like just a whole bunch of little stuff like that. And like a bunch of stuff like that would go in a newsletter. And so I'm like, oh, okay, this is a good fit for me kind of stretching out and playing with some ideas that I've been kicking around for a while but hadn't got to from my backlog. So I'm excited about that. Yeah. Let's see. Lizzie Mack says, snaps for Yergi. How is everybody? They're pretty quiet tonight, honestly. I think this is one of those streams where, because there's nothing visual really happening, a lot of people are like, let me go get my sewing or go do laundry or cook or whatever. So yeah, not a very active chat tonight, but that's okay. Because
it's also Thursday.
What do you mean it's also Thursday?
Tomorrow's Friday. Everybody's kind of crispy. I mean, sense. Personally speaking, I did take a 2-hour nap.
I wanted to take a 2-hour nap. I just couldn't get the time. Oh my gosh, today just wouldn't stop.
I had no choice.
Oh.
My brain was like, nope, down you go. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Before I forget, I had asked. Okay, hold on. Before we move on, I just want to double check. We're good with April?
I feel like we have the stuff from April that doesn't need to go on a calendar yet.
Okay, good.
And so we're almost ready to start getting into calendar stuff, like to actually setting days for things and things like that.
Is there anything else from going back as far as March, like for the next week?
So for the next week, let's talk about the next week. So the big celebrate in March is going to be April Fools, because yes. I'm going to be starting that.
Yeah, someone in chat asked if you were going to participate in Green's April Fool's Day prank thing.
Yes, and not only that, but I've already talked to another hermit who's just like, oh, I'm so slammed this week. I don't think that I can participate because I don't think I had time to do a good prank. And I was like, well, would you want to help me out with a prank? we can brainstorm it together, and then if you have a few hours, you can help me out with it, and if not, I'll just build it myself. But you could contribute to the ideation phase.
A
And
good
they were
compromise.
like, yeah, and they were like, yes, that sounds awesome. So the thing is, though, that all of that I'm gonna have to record off camera. I can't stream that. So
Well, no, nor should you.
the back half of this month might have a few streams that are either not Hermitcraft streams, like I might do more pinball stuff, but also,
Yeah.
since my brother is moving back to Nashville this Sunday, yeah, I might have him over to do a pinball stream one night, things like that.
That would be delightful.
He's going to need a little bit of time to decompress from moving, but I think he might also be bored. So we'll see how it goes. I am very excited about him coming back. But also, like, my Mercy Road character planning stream would be a good thing to do. Because, like, if I spent, like, 8 hours grinding on a prank off stream, I'm not going to want to log in and do a Hermitcraft stream. I'm not going to have the energy or enthusiasm that y'all would want from that. And so it's better for me to just switch gears and do a different type of stream after that. So I'm not sure how large scale my April Fool's prank is going to be, but probably big. P. Marinkak says, here's a thought, Joe. Have you considered taking an extra day off a month? I am trying to figure out how to get there from a financial standpoint and an efficiency standpoint. But realistically, the hiatus definitely set me back significantly. So my goal is to work really hard. Mario Kart practice streams. Yes, that is exactly, Sammy. That's
Yes.
another great example of something to do when I'm burned out on the April Fool's prank build. Yes. That's. I have a separate list of that, so that's not really gonna fit into this matrix. But yeah, I have that written down elsewhere. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh boy.
You were talking about
Extra day off a
pinball
month.
streaming.
Yeah, so
Extra
the
day
thing
off
is, my goal is to work really hard March and April. So in the brief window between when my daughter gets out of school in May and when she has to go to her mom's house for the summer, I really want to be able to take some real time off to maybe take her on a road trip or something. And I'm optimistic that I'll have the opportunity to do some of that, but I don't know yet. So I say I don't know yet. I know that I can do it, but I don't know if that's a 4-day road trip or a 10-day road trip. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's quite a big difference right there.
yeah. Because not only am like every day we travel, I'm paying for a hotel and food on the road and stuff, but I'm also losing revenue by not streaming. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure where the equilibrium's going to be there. So yeah.
Well, this is also one of those instances where if you're on a road trip and you're traveling and you have your daughter with you, you've mentioned before that you could stream from the hotel room.
Well, and that was one of the things I was talking about with the Switch. Yeah, if I could do a Mario Kart or Pokemon stream from the hotel room after she falls asleep, then it's not like, well, because that's actually the worst part of traveling as a single parent, is that my kid wants to go to bed at 8:30 and I don't want to go to bed until midnight. Hey, Manu, glad you could join us. And so being able to stream from the hotel, because she's a really heavy sleeper, I could absolutely stream once she was asleep. So that's the sort of thing like we're gonna have to play with. But yeah, I'm not gonna take much time off in March or April just because I want to make sure, especially because June and July also, like, there's going to be a bunch of family stuff going on and things like that I'm going to want to be able to, do like 4th of July stuff and things. So my goal is to, rather than saying, can I take extra time off this month? It's how can I work harder this month to set myself up for time off in late May through July. But yeah. Okay. So in terms of building, I mean, I'm still working on the yard outside the house. Let's say landscaping. We've got the prank build.
We won't put on that public calendar that people could find?
Well, I mean, the thing is, people know I'm competing in I'm participating in the April Fool's Day thing. So
Oh, that's different.
but yeah, that's what I'm saying is the April Fool's Day prank build is going to eat a lot of my building time. So we're probably going to have some HHH stuff. But yeah, I mean, really, there's so little time left in the month. It's like 1 week.
Yeah, it's 7 days. Let's go.
Yeah. And then, I mean, in terms of meetups and stuff, we already had Tennessee Game Days earlier this month. I mean, this month is basically locked in. So let's maybe actually pull up Google Calendar and move over to scheduling the stuff that we have to plan or schedule.
Yes.
Okay. So
let me pull up your calendar too.
Yes. So let's see. Okay, so I'm adding something. So Sunday, I'm going to be helping my brother move. So I don't want to schedule anything on Sunday.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
So Saturday, though, so since I'm not going to the draw 4 thing, I'm free, because I wanted to make sure Pasta didn't need me. It sounds like he doesn't. So I figure I can schedule first petitions Sunday at noon. Or not Sunday, Saturday at noon.
Okay, so the first petition of the vanilla server is going to be...
Yeah, well, it'll also be first petitions for the experimental server.
Okay, so it'll be for everything.
Yeah, because we're going to start... So that was one of the things, too, was that the vanillish, experimental, and vanilla server will all have petitions. The Everstorm will not, nor will the weird event server idea that I threw out. Gritmonger says, "Is he paying you in the usual drinks and pizza?" I don't know. I'm probably gonna be the one, as the older brother who didn't just spend a bunch of money moving. I'm probably gonna be covering some of that stuff. I feel like that's my responsibility. But I want him to feel welcome coming back to Nashville. So yeah, we're gonna say noon is gonna be first petitions.
Okay.
And boy. Okay. So other stuff we need to plan for this week. Okay, wait. Okay, let me add. Okay, so I've got a family thing all day on April 2nd, so we're not going to do anything on April 2nd.
Hold on, I see...
I'm just adding things to the calendar as I look at it.
Okay, there is a... Looks like there's something going on the same time as the petitions.
Yeah, that's not actually going to really happen.
Okay, just wanted to double check.
Yeah, no, that's one of those COVID cancellation things.
Rip. Okay.
Well, I mean, it's not like one person in particular got COVID. It's more like everybody was just too tired to actually plan the event, so it got canceled, type of thing.
Yep, I understand.
So yeah. Lizzie Mac says live music and Sean guest appearance. That's actually going to happen on April 9th. At 11 a.m. U.S. Central Time. My brother is going to be joining us for a Earth Day build contest. And then after that, I'm going to be on the Mercy Road charity stream benefiting the Child's Play charity. So, yeah. So April 9th is packed. But okay. So this weekend, I've only got some time on Saturday. But if we do the first petitions at noon on Saturday, and then I've got to get a bunch of stuff in order for the move the back half of Saturday, so I don't want to do anything Saturday night, so we're going to keep that clear. I can do the
stream, right?
I can do the stream, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I don't want to do, like, hey, we're going to do a movie night or anything. I just because I've got a bunch of furniture that I need to pull out, and stuff I had put in storage that my brother might want. Or does want. So I need to go start grabbing a bunch of that and load up my car and stuff. Is a driving stream ever possible from you? No. That would probably get somebody killed. I don't... Like, maybe if somebody else was running the camera, but I'm not comfortable with a driving stream. I feel like that's a recipe for disaster. I'm not a professional driver, you know. It's not like I've got a commercial license or anything. And I think that I would be driving commercially if I was streaming and making money. It really just doesn't sound like a good idea. Okay. So, let's see. So the 31st will have yours and my we'll resume our weekly planning meetings.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm looking through that whole, like I said, that whole week. I guess the evening streams might not be Hermitcraft streams because of the prank stuff. But
Makes sense.
I don't want to schedule specific things yet. I want to wait until Saturday when I find out. So Saturday we actually get to draw the names. So when I find out on Saturday who I've got, and then I'm able to connect with my brainstorming partner, we'll kind of figure out the scale of how big this needs to be and how soon we need to start, right? Because if we're like, oh, we could knock this out in one day, then it would only be the Thursday night stream that would be disrupted. But if it's like, oh, this is a 3-day thing or whatever, then there'd be several nights. So we'll figure out how big that is, and then we'll reach out to people about doing things like Mario Kart or whatever. But yeah, doing some Mario Kart practice streams would be very, very helpful because ZF just wrecked me. I'm also expecting to hear back from my friend Pujol, who's a musician here in Nashville. He contacted me today about
doing well?
About a pinball stream. What?
He's doing well?
Oh yeah, he's doing well. He just had a freelance gig that was eating a whole of his time.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, the thing about creative people is a lot of times they're busy, you know, and so so he had told me that he would get back in touch with me after that gig wrapped up, and he says it's almost wrapped, and he'll have specific dates for April once he regains his bandwidth. So sometime in April, we will sort that out, or we'll sort that out for sometime in April. My brother would probably want to come hang out with that, or come hang out for that pinball stream too, because he also knows Pujol, and they're both musicians. Like, that could be a lot of fun.
Definitely.
So we've got that coming up very soon. I wanted to reach out to the Tennessee Game Day guys once they announce their fall event dates, so that they can hype that. But I'm waiting for them to announce their fall event dates, so we're not ready to put that on the calendar. So then we get into things like, okay, when do we want to have the quote-unquote mid-April experimental server mod and data pack adding meeting? Because, like, I'm looking at, the problem is Easter week is right in the middle of April. And
that it is.
Mercy Road and the build contest thing are the 9th. So I think we could do the 10th. Maybe I think the 10th might be the sanest choice here.
I did not see anyone excuse me. I didn't see anyone suggest dates.
Well, we had just said broadly mid-April. So I'm thinking, hey, Terrador, welcome. This is my quarterly planning stream. So we are just looking at walls where I wrote things down that I need to plan around for different time periods. So, yeah.
Traders.
This is a weird... It's Hermitcraft. Scar is here. He's not in the room. My project manager, NJCoffeeJunkie, is here. because we are planning the next
Hi.
quarter. Welcome to quarter 2 of 2022. Woo!
I think maybe the 10th is probably is a good idea.
Yeah.
Let's see. Should I write something in the experimental channel about it, or are you going to make an announcement?
Well, so the thing is, if there were like 2 viable dates, I would say, hey, would this be better or this? But like basically, if we don't do it on the 10th, we're not going to have time to execute before. Because anything, because we want to implement things like prox chat and stuff in advance enough.
Okay.
To have it tested before Vanillish goes live, right? So
do you want to
so I'm adding this to my calendar first. So I'm going to say noon experimental server meeting, and then
okay.
Yeah, then we're also going to say experimental next. Okay, and then we'll say meeting to determine which mods and data packs are added, changed, etc. on April 10th at noon Central Time. Held in voice chat. In voice chat here. I'm going to pin that message. Okay. That seems helpful. So we've got that sorted.
Okay, good.
We need to figure out when to have the Vanillish server plan. I feel like in some ways if we could launch. When do people get out of school these days? Do northern schools still get out around June 16th? Whoa, what is happening? Am I taking damage in a video game? There's a creeper over there.
What? Where? Oh.
Come on.
Skelly.
Yeah, I know. I was like, why am I losing hearts? There's apparently a dark corner up there that I hadn't seen. That wasn't Scar Sammy, that was a skeleton. Okay.
We're crying out loud. You know, we're in the middle of something.
Yeah, we're trying to have a meeting here. What is this whole crevasse? I didn't notice this. Nobody lit this up, apparently. That's where all the mobs have been spawning and just...
What did you call it before? Creeper Sutherland?
Apparently, yeah.
Oh, God.
Okay, any other unlit areas that we need to worry about? Like, what is this? I don't know if I have time for this. Oh, wait, hold on. We can...
Do you want creepers? Because this is how you get creepers.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome, Sky Sent Dragon. Okay.
Oh, nicely done. Very smooth.
Yeah, I do what I can. Okay.
Yes. All right. Anyway.
So moving on. So we need to have a similar meeting about the Vanillish server launch. I kind of want to try to launch the Vanillish server May 21st, if that's not too early for the people who need to wrap up exams. I kind of want to do either May 21st or June 4th. So, you know what? Would a more convenient launch date be June... Wait, no, not June. May 21st or June 4th.
Okay, and so for Toxic, I'm way ahead of you. Can you explain to the audience or to the chats the difference between the different servers you're talking about?
So the experimental server is the one we run code on that we don't know if it's going to work or not. The Vanillish server is kind of halfway between vanilla and modded. But it's ones that have been it's all things that have been previously tested on experimental. Sammy says, is Vanillish the final title or is it workshoppable? I would rather every server I run be untitled, but I was told that I had to pick things, so I picked Vanillish. Y'all can call it something else, though, which was always an option when it was untitled. But I haven't figured out anything, because I tried, like, Vanilla Plus, but that doesn't work well in Discord, like, the symbols and stuff. And so, yeah, you can call it Bob. I'm fine with that. It reminds me of your uncle a little bit, but, you know, it's fine. But yeah, people complained that Season 8's SMP server being called Untitled Joe Hill's Patreon server was problematic. So, yeah.
And I just made a very bad joke. It's fine.
But yeah, experimental is definitely more moddity. And then I'm actually gonna add. Okay, so
Vanillish is a
server
Pokemon.
data pack and mod evaluation meeting at noon on May 10th. I think this is 10th. Wait, no, hold on. No, not 10th. May
Rip.
14th, because that'll give us over a month to test anything we ran on experimental. Then we'll pin that right there. Okay. Oh no, server. Hey, Wind Raider, we are currently... I'm on a call with my project manager. We're technically in Minecraft in that, like, I've got a bunch of boards here where I'm writing down things that I need to play on. We've got Google Calendar open. This is kind of a weird stream. We do this every 3 months to kind of plan out the next 3 months. So, yeah, welcome to me figuring out the next 3 months. Scar is here, but I got here second, so I don't need to greet him. I only need to greet him when he arrives after me. Okay. So, now, no one has voted for the 21st or the 4th, which is good, because that means I don't have to make any decisions right now.
Bless you.
So we've got the planning meeting date definitely picked, and we've got the launch date. We've got 2 good options for the launch date. So I need to black out the May 28th for family time. So
Yes.
So we definitely can't launch on the 28th.
No.
So, okay. Let's see. So, things we need to schedule today. We need to schedule these 2 server mod selection meetings. We also need to schedule the kind of broader server roadmap, operator hiring plan. We need to figure out the staffing situation and things like that, because people really seem to need more from me than I can deliver right now. And so it's kind of one of those things, and I had asked people if they had strong feelings about this. The closer we schedule this to the end of the quarter, the better an idea I'll have of what my monthly income is, because everything's kind of weird after Hermitcraft was off the air for so long, and I'm not sure how much I can spend right now. And I don't want to expand the staff prematurely, because I don't like the idea of laying people off or whatever. Mr. Hardluck, you could apply for this job. But my point is, we need to figure out when we're hiring and how we're auditioning for it and things like that. And I kind of think...
How do you want to approach that in terms of, do you want to have a discussion with all of us on your payroll? Do you want to what's your thought process in that respect?
I think in some ways what I want to do is do some more pilot runs. We're going to see what we learn from the Yurgi pilot that we're doing right now through Saturday. Then we'll design a better pilot. Ideally, I like the idea of having somebody who's doing kind of what Yurgi is doing now with the vanilla server for the launch of the vanillish server. And that might be Yurgi again, that might be somebody else. The experimental server, when we implement the changes there, I need to be managing that directly because those changes are going to be at the server level, not the operator level. And so that one I can't opt out of. So if the goal is to have somebody ready when the vanillish server launches to cover any days I'm traveling or spending with family or whatever, we need to have a good plan far enough out to have someone hired possibly by either the 21st or the 4th of either the 21st of May or the 4th of June. So we can't put this off forever either, you know. I'm kind of inclined to see how the experimental server planning meeting goes. And so let's see, the experimental server planning meeting we just said was going to be on April 10th at 12 p.m. So at noon on April 10th. So let's say maybe April 23rd. So that's about 2 weeks after.
Okay.
We can have long-term server roadmap / hiring planning. Is that a bad date for some reason? Oh, is that actual Earth Day? Because people were going to be volunteering on Earth Day. That's why you didn't schedule our parade on Earth Day, right?
No, I have a multi-section conference that day, and I'm presenting.
Well, you are welcome to do that. I mean, honestly, this isn't something that you are technically needed at. So, but if well, let me verify Earth Day 2022, because there's a reason we didn't schedule the parade on Earth Day. People want to go out and volunteer. That's Friday, April 22nd. So maybe we don't want to do it on the 23rd, just in case they're doing their volunteering that day. Maybe we push it to the 24th.
24th works for me.
Does it actually work better for you, or are you just...
It does, yeah. Because the conference I'm going to is going to run from probably 8 till 7.
Okay.
It's going to be an all-day thing.
Yeah, this cave is just right beneath my house, Lizzie. So there's a water column thing that goes up to my house there. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and put that... Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so yeah, the vanillish poll is ready. I'm going to go to sustainable... Yeah, so I'm seeing why Fally was like having a newsletter where we collect all these upcoming things into one place instead of just putting them in the different rooms would be really helpful. Yep, so that's valuable. Long-term server roadmap strategy and hiring meeting held in voice chat here noon. NJ, did something happen?
No, I sent you a screenshot I meant to send you the other day.
Oh, okay.
Not
Sorry,
not important.
Okay, yeah, because I saw the red dot pop up, and I was worried you were like, I can't say anything on voice, but you really need to look over there.
No. If it was something like that, I would have just said so.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
no.
Okay.
No, you're good. You're good. Continue.
NJ will create an agenda based on feedback so far. So that's up to you. When do you think is a reasonable deadline for you to have an agenda for that meeting together by?
Okay, so we're gonna do this at 1 p.m. my time on the 24th.
Yeah.
Then I would say give me until the 21st. but people would probably want that agenda a little earlier, maybe. So let's say the
Well, I'll say
let's,
we'll
it's also
create
Easter
a
week. Okay,
preliminary
hold
agenda proposal
on.
based on feedback received by when?
And we're gonna be looking at feedback from the entire community, not just the mods and everything.
This is the sustainable. Remember, basically everything since I said Aviva wants to have a meeting. What goes on the agenda? And then
Oh yeah, I told people to ping me, so a reminder of that. And no, I don't care about being pinged because I don't get pings after midnight.
sure.
So yeah, let's have people take 3 weeks. So that would be the week of the 11th of April.
Should I just
So anytime after that.
okay? So NJ will create a preliminary agenda proposal based. I'm just gonna say NJ will create an agenda based on feedback received by April 11th. So please share that with her or here. Thanks.
Yep.
And then I will pin that.
That's perfect.
That'll give everybody a chance to weigh in. Okay, because I know with the server just launching, there's a lot of immediate feedback, but like this will give everybody a chance to kind of see, really get their thoughts together. So, is Tiamatic your actual sister, Yurgi? Hi, Yurgi's sister. We met at PlayOnCon. I was that weird guy.
Hi, Yuri, sister.
Um,
Hopefully you'll meet me this year.
yeah, hopefully NJ will be at PlayOnCon this year. We are working very hard to make that happen.
I just have to put the days in at this point and see how much the plane tickets are.
Oh wait, is Graf here? Oh, Graf says sneaking
Graf's
through
here.
just to say hi. Graf, you're so sneaky. I also met you at PlayOnCon. Yeah, sorry. I'm like looking at my calendar. Okay. Yeah, this is a very Minecrafty stream. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah, and if you wanted to, or not if you wanted to, but sometimes I frame things like that. What I was gonna say is, before you post the agenda,
Yeah.
if you could send it to me for review and approval, because I want to make sure if anybody said anything to me that they didn't ping you on or whatever, that like I don't want them to be like, what, I said this to Joe and it got missed, right? I just want to review it and make sure that we've got that.
Yeah, I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah, no, and I don't think you necessarily would, but people have been talking to me about this stuff in like 20 different channels, and I've been getting a lot of feedback all over the place, so it's very easy and plausible for you to accidentally miss something.
There's a whole heck of a lot.
It would be irresponsible of me to assume that you saw everything, is my point. This is not a judgment on you. This is a statement about the chaotic nature of these ongoing conversations, right?
Yeah, exactly. I would want to make sure that everybody is represented if they've voiced their opinion.
Because that's the whole point of trying to do this right, is like, let's do this right. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. 100%.
Hey, welcome, Diamond Miner Mob. Okay. So, feeling good about that. Those were the big things we needed to get scheduled. We've got a bunch of stuff that's nebulously ready to be scheduled and dropped in April based on when my friends are available, when my brother is settled in, things like that. So, like, we're going to have a busy, fun April in a lot of ways. Okay. I don't think... Yeah, because Easter eats a big weekend in there. Well, kind of a week for some people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let me go ahead and ban that bot.
Joy.
Okay. So, okay. NJ, in terms of your priorities for this evening, is there anything that, like, I feel like we've actually been super productive. I feel like this working backwards thing just, like, was shockingly effective.
It was
And
effective.
but like
Yes.
that makes me worry I'm missing something. I'm like, if we're getting done 20 minutes to a half hour earlier than I expected, did we just forget something huge?
No, we didn't forget anything huge. Give me one moment because there was something I wanted to not from. I have to look for it
Yeah, go ahead.
because this is why I asked people to ping me so that way I could remember. Mr. Hardluck had asked a question, and
Uh-huh.
we didn't get to go over it the last time we spoke, but was asking about more community game nights.
Yeah. Um
Uh,
and so that's the
between
sort of thing
Among
that
Us,
is
Snapshot UHCs, Mario Kart, that kind of stuff, and pinball tournaments like you did back in the day.
yeah. That's a great question, Mr. Hardlock. So to some degree, that is going to be based off of when other things get scheduled in April. Because I don't want to say, hey, this is community Mario Kart night, and then that's the night that my musician friend is like, hey, I can come over and play pinball, right? Because I basically told him any night except Tuesday at 8:30, just let me know. And
Mm-hmm.
so I need to not intersect that. So once I hear back from
Mm-hmm.
some people, I want to be able to commit to things like that. And I can schedule some of that during the day, but
Mm-hmm.
um yeah.
Would you be up for doing something simple like setting up like through the pinball game that a good chunk of us have, like doing a couple of easy pinball things for now,
Yeah,
just kind of
me
get the ball rolling.
yeah, I mean in theory, yes. I just like I haven't actually opened like Pinball FX3 in so long.
Oh
Um
dear.
yeah, no, but like I'm supposed to be I still need to so I'm going to be talking with Goran this Sunday about doing some sort of pinball thing.
Oh, that'll be good.
So yeah, I've got a bunch of like little stuff like that that's kind of like just in my
Mm-hmm.
way. Um,
Well,
but
if you want, while we're on the call, I can actually set one up. I don't mind.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, Yurgi says you've had real pinball to play.
yeah, I have had real pin. Wait, did they add this? Oh no, they didn't add Stranger Things on FX3. I didn't
Oh.
think so. Um, yeah, I didn't think so. Okay, so that's one of those things that let's come back to let's table that until the next weekly planning meeting because by next Thursday I should know better what my friends want to do for pinball streams and what my brother's schedule looks like. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
But like honestly, with this being my brother's first week back in town, scheduling any of that between now and next Thursday would be a bad idea anyway.
Okay.
So, because I'm not sure what he's gonna need with the relocation and stuff. So, I don't want to. Like, there's a big difference between me canceling a Hermitcraft stream and me canceling a stream that 7 people were like set up to be on mic for in terms of like letting
Mm-hmm.
people down. Um, and
Mm.
I'm hoping I shouldn't have to cancel any streams. Realistically, that's unlikely, but like the uncertainty level for the next week is way more uncertain than usual. Um so yeah. That's just kind
Okay.
of where I'm thinking.
All right. Well,
Okay, so yeah, we'll come back to that next Thursday because it's a good suggestion. I just
you just want to focus on what is right in front of you.
yeah.
That's
uh
okay.
yeah.
I'm sure we can all.
Well, and here's the other thing though is I've said this before. Like, if Hard Luck wants to organize a pinball tournament, you can post it in pinball challenges and let people know to compete. And I would probably show up and compete. I just don't want the additional responsibility right now. I'm feeling really overextended, and I don't want to push myself too hard. And I can tell, like, getting this tax thing behind me was a huge relief. Offloading the server launch to Yurgi was a huge relief. Um I woke up feeling so good about that decision. Like that's one of those things. Like, anytime you make a decision at 3 a.m., it's kind of like, oh man, I hope I don't regret this in the morning. I woke up and I was like, oh man, I'm so glad I was tired enough not to argue myself out of doing that because that was brilliant and exactly the perfect thing to do. So Because the problem was I was just obsessing about how to properly train somebody to do something that Yurgi already knows how to do. You know, and maybe I would, because I was like, I didn't have a candidate in mind for like the abstract, like if we do a hiring process thing, I need to have all these things figured out in advance and stuff. So, yeah. Okay. So, I think we're ready to wrap up for the night, unless there's anything else you can think of. It seems like most of the day-to-day scheduling from here on out, we can just handle next Thursday, because by then I'll really have a better idea of like how my brother's move went, because he's gonna have some transportation issues.
Yeah, there's a lot. There,
so,
it's an adjustment
yeah,
period.
there's a lot of adjustments, and my daughter is also like so ecstatic he's gonna be here. She's gonna want to hang out with him all the time. So I don't know. Yeah,
That's
my next
adorable.
week is gonna be way weirder. It's gonna be the weirdest week I've had probably since the pandemic started, because there's so many unknowns, which is exciting and invigorating in a lot of ways, but also I'm like, I just don't want to commit to anything else. I need to keep my mental focus available.
Yeah, that's more than understandable, and I'm really glad that Sean's coming back into the area, because I think it's going to be a great boost for both of you. Before I go though, I just want to say, I don't know if you saw my tweet.
No, I didn't,
but
because I got rid of Twitter
no,
on my phone, so I'm not.
Yeah, it's fine. So I can't really watch the Wednesday morning streams anymore because I'm in the office and
Yeah, sure.
Twitch is blocked.
Okay.
But during my lunch break, I was able to hop on YouTube and watch your VOD, and I got to the part where you were telling Cleo about about Yahoo.
Yeah.
And the second she said, "I'm blaming this on you," referring to me, I nearly spit my lunch out because I was laughing so hard.
Nice.
I was like, thanks, because Cam messaged me, and he's like, yeah, so you have. Cleo said to me to tell you to stop. I was like, what did I do? And then I saw it. I was like, oh, dang it. And I was cracking up the entire rest of the day.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what needs to go on this board while we're thinking of things we didn't get to? I was like, I feel like there's some stuff that maybe I had kicking around.
Yeah, there's always something.
We need Pog designs.
Oh yes, you mentioned Pogs.
Yeah, so in the pinball community, people are using Pogs as business cards these days, and I think that's amazing.
You mentioned that.
And I found so Gorin and Fliptronic both use the same printer for that, and they seem like really quality and good pricing, and then, you know, cheap enough that I can just hand them out to people for free. So I need 5 Pog designs. So let's do a little bit of actual brainstorming here. Let's just
okay.
So this is our calendar wall, so we don't want to do that sort of brainstorming over here. We're gonna do our Pog design wall over here.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we need the classic Twitter classic Twitter photo, right?
Yes.
I think we need the season 4 gallery, which is actually the Patreon. That was my most iconic build of season 4 when the Patreon Discord launched, and that's why the Patreon Discord is that Mesa glass building, which no one has ever commented on after season 4. So I guess they just assumed that's what my Discord Patreon thing looks like.
Yep.
So yeah, so white and teal @ sign.
Yeah, you wanted 5 designs.
Yes, well, so it's not that I wanted 5 designs, it's that with your every 100 Pogs you order, you get 5 designs included in the price. And I'm probably not going to order more than 100 Pogs, because 100 Pogs is already a lot. Hey, Falsehood, welcome. We are picking pictures. So yeah, I'm thinking I don't think I have, well, honestly, the Elvira house because it's a pinball related thing, and we're going to be going to pinball conventions. Elivra.
There was also mention of the Ever Given.
The Ever Given. Okay, so we're gonna get into the. I feel like the first 4 we've locked in, but
Yes.
right now we're kind of figuring out what's competing for the 5th slot. And honestly, if we have 6 really good ones, maybe I'll just order 200 pogs. People are saying green glass pane, green screen. I like the Ever Given. I kind of like the Ravenloft, but I'm not sure if it'll read well at that, you know.
I'm not sure about the Ravenloft build.
It might not read well.
Because it's so big.
Yeah, it might not read well. Alex says just your face. That's design number 1. The Ever Given is so iconic.
You dressed as the Beetlejuice, like a picture of you with the camera all skewed.
Show us pumpkins, Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, this is one of those things like. I mean, maybe we do order 200 pogs, because I mean, honestly, they're $36 for 100.
That's not bad.
It's, I mean, for color, so it's full color printing on the front, and then on the back it's black and white, like a real pog.
Yeah.
And so on the back I would have like at Joe Hills on Twitter, or YouTube joehills.com/ or no youtube.com/joehillstsd, joehills.net. Hohenzollern Castle is another iconic build that I'm really proud of.
Yes. You should be. It's beautiful. And Jawai is right. 100 business cards isn't that many.
Yeah, 100 business cards isn't that many, because I'm going to be handing them out like business cards.
They'll last you a really long time.
Yeah. Do the pogs have 2 sides? Yeah, they do, but only one of them is color. The backside's black and white. So the backside's where all my brand information would go. So, hey, Michael, thank you for tipping 10, who says, really enjoying your show. Keep it up. Appreciate you. That's going to put us $10 past our next, or $10 toward our next face camera expansion. Wow, I am brain dead. Like I said, I spent all day, or all morning doing taxes, and that was all sorts of fun stuff, like me going like, let me go through every GoDaddy invoice and figure out which ones are for the business and which ones are for draw for charity. Yay.
Dear.
Oh my gosh. You would think like I wouldn't have that many GoDaddy invoices, but I have way too many domain names. I need to schedule a domain name audit. Not now. I'm gonna put that in June while we're over here. Let's go over to the June wall and put domain name audit, because I don't know how many URLs I need making fun of Facebook, but like I'm not doing anything with a lot of them. But I just would have dumb ideas and be like, oh, you know, I'll put a funny website up here later, and then like some of them I did, but it's like, okay, how big are these things? They're like the size of a cap on a milk jug. And I've got a bunch of old Team Snow Day domains for group projects we did that are now defunct or didn't launch. Is this my personal cave? Or kind of. It's under my house, but it's also, my house is near a bunch of other people's houses. So anybody could come through here at any time. But it's under my house. Like, this water pillar goes straight up into my house.
Make sure you say hi to Scar.
Is it Scar login?
Yep. Sammy just said so. Thanks.
Super Ruler says, adulting live on stream, amazing. Genuinely is quite entertaining. Thank you. World Ocean Day is also in June. Oh, wait, when is Love Tropics this year?
Isn't it usually in November or later in the year?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh my gosh, my concept of the calendar is so warped.
No, you're fine. This is why we're keeping the calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think Casa Nirvana is also around June, July, but I don't know. I haven't heard anything from
Nirvana.
them
I know
lately.
that name. What is that?
We did a UHC together with Yergi, on separate teams. It's the charity event that Yergi does every year.
Gotcha. That's not the one that I was like, have them call me back when they figure out how to run an event.
No, it is that one.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's been 2 years. I'd be willing to consider going back if they want me.
Yeah, I've greatly enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Oh,
they just didn't have it set up to dispense the things that the donors
yeah,
were promised quickly enough, and I felt bad for the people because we had the highest viewership team, and the people who were donating were like a huge percentage of the donors for that time period. But like when they would donate, it wouldn't show up for 70 minutes, and I was like, oh, this is.
they were. Well, I think I don't know. I think yes, Sammy. That was the one that it was Yumi, Fally, and Jess.
They were very well intentioned. I just, I just wanted to make sure they were going to do a better job. And when I kind of didn't get that impression, like that they were going to improve, I didn't really get involved at that point.
Again, it's also been 2 years and they changed the charity, but I'm gonna find out what I can from them.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, I don't exactly remember when it is.
Hey, welcome, Glitched Wildcard. Glad you could join us. It says, I came from Grian's channel on YouTube. Well, thank you. I'm surprised. Because I don't think Korean mentions me very often. But thanks. Either way. Benefit. So, big thing. I'm just throwing stuff down now that we know is coming up. Since we're actually kind of like... Well, now we're at the 2-hour mark. I was going to say we're ahead of schedule, but... Okay, so we have some good ideas for pogs.
This is cleanup at this point.
Say again?
This is cleanup at this point.
Yeah. This is like just prep for 3 months from now. We're actually ahead of schedule. But yeah, it feels like we have 5 good pog options here already. Maybe 10. Because if we couldn't think of 5, I was going to suggest like, hey, maybe this is something... Even though the pogs are only $36 to print, how much money can we spend hiring fan artists to license maybe work they've already done, or maybe to do new work? I don't know. So like, yeah, that would be a thing. But like, the problem with that though is that we have with a limited number of designs and a limited amount of money to spend, I would feel bad saying, hey, let's do a call for submissions or whatever, because I don't want to do that. I would probably just reach out to like 1 or 2 people I already knew and say, hey, here's something you already drew that I want to put in POG form. How would you like it if your art was back in POG form? What would that cost me? So... Yeah, I don't want to solicit new work because I don't for something I'm literally giving away. That would be a thing. So, I don't know.
I understand that.
So yeah, that's something we can come back to too. Honestly, the way the pricing structure is set up on this POG site. Dang it. Yeah, custom pogs. So yeah, if we order 300 pogs, it drops down to 36 cents each from 38 cents. I mean, really, you don't save a ton of money on pogs until you're ordering 10,000 pogs, but at that point you're out $2,500. So we're not going to do that. That would be...
What are we saving at that point?
Well, I mean, the cost per pog is down 13 cents each.
You don't need 10,000 pogs.
No, I don't need 10,000 pogs. But yeah, but like the thing
See,
is,
Leo,
though,
I'm not encouraging him.
Homestorm says if you get 100 of them with 5 designs, it's only 20 of each. Yeah, but I wouldn't give people all 5 of mine, because there's going to be a bunch of people at the conventions giving out pogs, and they could trade away the peoples that they don't like. They could be like, do I really want this don't panic flip pog that badly? I don't know. Just kidding. I'm sure George's pogs are going to be fantastic. And I'm sure Manu is probably going to get on this pog train too. Gotta save 13 cents a pog if I want to buy a castle. Yeah, you don't buy a castle by ordering pogs in small quantities, NJ. You need a lordly 10,000 pogs. Oh boy. Okay, well I think we're I'm glad that we did fit in a little bit of time for goofy brainstorming on top of everything else, because it's a way more fun way to end the stream than doing a bunch of goofy brainstorming right at the beginning and then going, oh my gosh, we haven't gotten to June yet. Oh no. So, Grace Winder says, wait, you give them away? You're not going to be challenging people for their contact info? And Gritmonger says, you got to spend money to not make money. Yeah. Yeah, we're not we're not going to be buying a lot of boxes. We're going to be buying enough and very, very few on the whole. Like, here's what I figure is I'll order, because I don't the big pinball event I'm going to be going to isn't until October. So if I order a bunch of pogs and then you give them all away at PlayOnCon, like PlayOnCon's a way smaller convention than the Pinball Expo, right? So if I get to PlayOnCon and I give away 100 pogs, I'll be like, oh, well, the other event is 5 times or 10 times larger, so I'll order more. You know, same thing with business cards, though. You know, you don't want to order too many business cards because what if your contact info changes? Or you get a new job or a new title. So, yeah. Okay. But yeah. Okay. Well, my laptop battery is about to die because I didn't plan to actually have it, and then I realized we needed it for Google Calendar. So.
Oopsie.
Okay, NJ, anything else you can think of before we wrap up?
Not for this, no. I think you are on a really good clip here. This is just beautiful. I put your tip link in the chat in case anybody wanted last minute tips. I've been kind of poking it through every so often.
I was not really expecting a lot of this is not a stream that we make. This is not a stream where we come in and we're like, okay, it's going to be a big hype night. This is a stream where we make sure that we have a lot of big hype nights 2 months from now. So I'm not stressed about that. I'm feeling really good about this stream.
I was backing you up.
Yeah, thank you everybody who came out. This has been fantastic amount of fun. And I'm feeling really good about the next 3 months. Like it's been an exhausting week, but it's been a productive one, and that's a good place to be in.
Yeah, I've been helping you now for almost 2 years, and just all the progress you've made is just beautiful. This is wonderful.
Thank you. So why don't we go ahead? For those of you who like Batman 66, Hot Nudge is playing the Batman 66 pinball table right now. I see Jane, Rebecca, and Anna are all hanging out tonight. So when you get over there, say howdy, y'all. Joe Hill's raid here. And, yeah, that's our raid message. So anyway, NJ, any final words before we go?
Yes, people can find me on Twitch at NJCoffeeJunkie. I just put the link in the chat.
Sorry for not reminding.
You're fine.
Yeah,
You're
sorry.
fine.
Yeah, because I wasn't...
You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Alrighty.
But
thank you, NJ.
Be excellent to yourselves and to each other, everybody.
And party on, dudes.